Hey friends, today we're going to learn how to do increases and decreases. Increases are very simple, so we're going to start with that. And if you're just beginning, you've probably already accidentally done some increases. So all you have to do for an increase, no matter what stitch you're using, is put 2 stitches into the same stitch. So this will be my next stitch right here. I'm going to put a single crochet in there. And now I'm going to do another single crochet into that same spot. Same hole. And that's it. That's one increase. Now for the decreases. Okay, so for every stitch that you do, a single crochet, half double, double crochet, treble, any of the stitches, at some point your hook is going to go into the stitch and pull up a loop. So let me show you with the single crochet. Hook goes into the stitch, we pull up a loop. A half double, yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, pull up a loop. For a double crochet, yarn over, hook goes into the stitch, pull up a loop. For a decrease, after this point, no matter what stitch you're doing, once you pull up that loop, you go into the next stitch and you insert your hook into that stitch and you pull up a loop as well. Let's go ahead and do a single crochet. We're going to insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. We have 2 loops in the hook, we yarn over, and we pull through 2. Now we're going to do a single crochet decrease. You're going to insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and then you're going to insert your hook again into the next stitch and pull up a loop. Now we have 3 loops on the hook. My trick is to ignore this loop. So let's just pretend it's a regular single crochet, 2 loops on the hook. At this point, we're going to pull our yarn through both loops. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And there you go. That's a single crochet decrease. Let's try a decrease out on a half double crochet. So to recap what half double crochet is, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop. We have 3 loops on our hook at this point. We yarn over and we pull through 3. That's a half double. Now let's do a half double decrease. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop. Just like we did before, we get those 3 loops. But now we do that extra decrease step. Insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop. Now we have 4 loops. Use my trick, ignore that loop on the hook. At this point, we would yarn over and pull through 3 loops on our hook. Sure, it's 4, but we're pretending that first one doesn't exist. There we go. And that's a half double decrease. For a double crochet, let's go ahead and recap a double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch. You're going to pull up a loop. At this point, you have 3 loops on the hook. You yarn over and you pull through the first 2. You have 2 loops on your hook. You yarn over and pull through the last remaining 2 loops on your hook. That's a double crochet. Let's do a double crochet decrease. You're going to yarn over. You're going to insert your hook into the next stitch and you're going to pull up a loop. At this point, we've got 3 loops on the hook just like we did before, but let's add in our extra step. Insert your hook into the next stitch and pull up a loop. There we go. We've got 4 loops on the hook. We're going to ignore this one, pretend it doesn't exist. We're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. So ignore the first one, it doesn't exist. Pull through those 2. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through the last 2. And that is a double crochet decrease. Lastly, we're going to go ahead and do a treble stitch. So just to recap a treble stitch, you yarn over twice, you insert your hook into the next stitch, and you pull up a loop. You have 4 loops on the hook at this point. You pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then you yarn over, pull through the first 2. And then again, yarn over and pull through 2. So let's go ahead and do a decrease. Yarn over twice. Insert your hook into the next stitch, and you're going to pull up a loop. And now we're going to do our decrease step, insert your hook into the next stitch and pull up an additional loop. Ignore that first loop on the hook and you're going to pull through the first 2. So technically first 3. And now you're going to pull through 2 and you're going to pull through 2 and there you go. That's our treble decrease. I didn't do the turning chain for any of these stitches over here. This is just a demonstration for increasing and decreasing. If you are lost in how to do any of these stitches, single crochet, half double, double crochet, or treble, go ahead and go back into the beginning of this playlist on my channel and review those before you start doing this. Let's do a review. So for increases, you just put 2 stitches into the same stitch, and that's an increase. So if I have a single crochet here, so add another one into that same spot, and there you go. That's your increase. For the decreases, you're going to do your stitch as normal, whatever it is, single, half double, double, and when you pull your yarn through that stitch, you're just going to go next door and insert your hook into that stitch also and pull up a loop. Then my trick is to ignore this stitch, pretend it doesn't exist, and continue your stitch as you normally would. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching.